Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. We are here pre-match talk the night before. It's the EFL Cup, what we've all been waiting for and talking about. Everton at home against Fulham. This is a biggie, and I've been looking around and I've managed to get a cracking Fulham fan for the fan clash to give you a good watch tonight. What we do, if you're new, if you are new and you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, get on that. I'll just mention it early. We appreciate it. But what we do is we're going to look at the last 5 games of Fulham, the last 5 games of Everton to get the form. We have a good system here. Then we'll look at the team that Fulham played the last, and Russ, who's on, can tell us what team he thinks going to play. It gives us a good insight of Fulham. Then we'll look at Everton. You in the comments can put your Everton lineups, we'll do ours. And then we finish with a score prediction. This is going to be a cracking fan clash. Let's get him on. Here he is. Rush, how are you doing, mate? You all right?
I'm good. Boy, that was some kind of open. I want to give you guys a lot of credit on that open. I don't have any hearing left, but I thank you for that open. That was wonderful.
There you go. There you go. I've seen a lot of your stuff. And introduce yourself. Go for it. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your channel, because I know you do podcasts and stuff like that. So if you want to give yourself a shout out before we go ahead.
Sure. So, again, my name's Russ Goldman. I am the host of Cottage Talk. I've been actually doing this show about Fulham since 2011. I'd say the last 3 or 4 years, I've added video like you guys. I use the same system you guys use. And I've added that extra element to it. I have a lot of co-hosts that join me, but I also do a lot of shows by myself. I do previews, post-match shows, full-time shows. But the big thing for me is that I just like to talk about Fulham, where I live. I live outside of Boston, Massachusetts. You guys might be familiar with the New England Patriots in the NFL. I live basically 15 minutes away, and that's where I'm located. But I have, I guess you could say, my heart is split between here in Massachusetts and in London, in West London, where Fulham play at Craven Cottage. And I'm very passionate about Fulham. And I look forward to doing the show with you, and obviously the match tomorrow, which is huge for both sides.
I was going to say, Russ, how did you become a Fulham fan?
Well, the easy version of this is to tell you Clint Dempsey, because Clint Dempsey played for my local club, the New England Revolution, and I was looking for a club to call my own. I tried Chelsea. I tell people that, they get mad at me. I'm like, yes, I did. I tried Manchester United. That didn't work. And then Clint Dempsey went to Fulham, and lo and behold, I got thrown into a relegation battle, the great escape season for Fulham. And that's how it took for me. I really fell in love with the club. The struggles of a relegation battle really did it for me. And basically, I could also tell you that Craven Cottage is similar to Fenway Park, where I live here for the Boston Red Sox. So there was some reasons for me to give Fulham a try, and I'm so happy that I did. Fulham is in my blood now, and it has been for a long time.
I tell you what, we're really sorry for you that Landon Donovan or Tim Howard didn't play in your local side. Then you would have been fine.
Well, there you go. It's funny. I'm a big fan of Landon Donovan. I can just tell you, not the biggest fan of Tim Howard because of his commentary. He's very negative on Fulham over here. He does NBC Sports, and every time he talks about Fulham, it seems to be negative. So I'm not the biggest Tim Howard fan right now. As a goalkeeper, I was, though.
Fair dues, fair dues.
That's cracking. That is cracking story as well. So we're going to get on the screen now. This is what it's all about. I'm going to put little clips on, as we always do, little stuff on the screen. And this is the reason that we're clashing tonight. This is what it's all about. And I've had my eyes on this all the time, Russ. This means a lot to us because we've won a lot of trophies in our history, and Everton have got a rich, rich history, and we've had some incredible times, but they haven't been my time. So this is a chance for Everton to make new history, and I'm sure you're doing the same. When you look at this and look at the teams in it, this is a good chance to win a cup. For you, you'll be thinking, and I'm thinking, if you can get through here, this is a massive chance, isn't it?
That's the way I'm looking at it, guys, because this is the best chance Fulham have had to win something major, like, listen, the last time that Fulham came this close was the Europa League final. Now here we are at a quarterfinal. And this is a big deal because obviously the Europa League final did not go Fulham's way. Did we win the final of the playoff final? Yes, I was there for that at Wembley. That was great. This is different. This is a cup, and it's the Carabao Cup, and I know that every Fulham supporter wants them to win it, and there is an opportunity for both of our sides to actually win this.
No, I completely agree, and we'll go into it in a minute. I didn't realise your form's so good, but we're going to put the form of both teams on. I know we're good because I've been watching us every game, but I haven't been keeping an eye on what Fulham have been like. But we look at form of the teams every time we play someone, and
sure,
you're doing really well as well. And I'm going to put the form on in a minute. There's some comments there. Rob has just said he's dropped one on you there, Russ. I'll remove that so you can. We do like to interact with people in the comments because they are what makes the channel.
Okay, so no, that's very interesting. Now, I'm not really a Jaguars fan. I'm a New England Patriots fan, but I did start following the Jaguars a little bit. I'm not going to lie. AEW, not a fan at all. I'm actually an old school WWE. So that for me is, if I'm going to be a wrestling fan, that's what it is. I've got my issues with Tony. I'll just leave it at that. Tony's actually been on Cottage Talk before. I've interviewed him, and I've also interviewed his father, Shahid Khan, the owner of Fulham Football Club. I've been very fortunate to do that. But what's interesting about Tony is that he's involved in so many things, and it's hard to see where he has time to put Fulham as a priority. And that's been my issue with Tony Khan. Not that he doesn't have a passion for Fulham Football Club, but you just threw it out there. He is the Vince McMahon of AEW, and he's also involved with the Jacksonville Jaguars. On top of that, he's the director of football of Fulham Football Club. Can you imagine Vince McMahon being the director of football of Everton? How would you guys feel? I'm being very serious. So for me,
I would have Ric Flair. I'd love Ric Flair, to be honest.
I would have Ric Flair first. Oh yeah,
I would have doing that when we win.
But I think you understand where I'm going on this, guys. And
yeah,
I do.
Tony's passion for Fulham is there. It's not about that. We want Fulham to be his number one priority, and it's difficult where he has AEW and the Jaguars as well.
A lot do think Tony Khan would do well to stay away from social media.
I've been the one that has been screaming for him to stay away, to stop tweeting about Fulham, and actually he has. He actually has, and now he gets criticism because he doesn't tweet about Fulham, but he is all over social media with AEW. And if I had my way, if I could get Tony to stop, I would make sure he stopped. But he's his own man. I've been told that he wants to tweet about what he wants to tweet. No one can tell him what to do. So he tweets a lot.
You can't help some stuff. I mean, we've just had I don't know what you feel like, I didn't say it, but we've just had Joey Barton that's now apparently a big, massive Everton fan that's saying up the top. As I didn't even know Joey Barton supported Everton. I know he's Scouse, but I didn't know he supported Everton. And all of a sudden he's like, come on, Everton. But he's ripping into everyone on social media. And I'm thinking,
stop. Stop.
We don't want him anywhere near us.
No. See, people like that, stop. Just stop. Yeah. Just get away.
I know how you feel.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. I don't want to be associated with you, mate. Yeah. He acts like he's the biggest Evertonian ever. I didn't know that, but yeah, keep away. Can't be arsed with him. Right, so here we are. We are going to put the form on the screen. Keep the questions coming. They're all loving you, so they're dropping the questions on you, which is really good.
That answer is no, by the way. That answer is no.
Yeah. Thank God. The MJ statue.
No, I have a story about that, guys, because when I went to Craven Cottage for the first time in 2012, they took me on a tour. And I go on the tour, I go through everything, and it was wonderful to go on this tour. They left the very end for the Michael Jackson statue, and I completely forgot about it, and I literally almost threw up in my mouth. I'm like, it's still here? So they leave that for the end of the tour. They actually do that on purpose. And I was like, come on, this has nothing to do with Fulham, but no, it's gone now.
It is, thankfully.
It is gone. That is the answer to that question. We are getting all the answers in tonight. Proper Fulham insight
Keep
here.
them coming.
Keep them coming. Here we go. Let's get best to business then. Let's get angry with each other, Russ. Right. This is the last 5 games of Everton. This is the last 5 games. If you have written it all out, handwritten, there you go. We've had 4 wins on the bounce. We're on fire, and we're not even playing at our best at the minute. We're actually playing like 70%, but we've got that winning mentality at the minute that's winning games. But 4 wins on the bounce. This is probably the best us Everton fans have known Everton. We've got the Dogs of War back. We're back. We're all excited. We're doing really well in the Premier League. I mean, we would be 9th in the Premier League now without this 10-point deduction. Yeah, so we're a team that should be 9th position and 6 points off 5th. But some will see us at the bottom as a relegation team, which we will come away from, and we won't be in a relegation back. We might even get the 10 points back, but we'll see how that goes. But let's forget about that at the minute because they're corrupt, in our opinion. But we are really good. Like, I love our form. I didn't know Fulham's form. Not a team that I watch sometimes when they're on the games that are on TV. But I didn't realize. I did watch you against Liverpool because I hope you beat them. Well, you go there, Russ. You tell us about your games there. Go on,
sure.
Tell us what you think of your form there.
I'd be happy to. So basically, I could tell you guys that the season really turned after the Wolves match. Now, this was a controversial match. Anyone that has watched that, about some calls that went Fulham's way, and I'll just say some calls did go their way, but many calls have gone against them, and it involved VAR. But beyond what all transpired in that, Fulham were the better side. Fulham deserved all 3 points, and Fulham won the match. They followed that up by going to Anfield. And guys, I just want to tell you, they came from behind twice to get even with Liverpool. They actually go ahead at Anfield. And unfortunately for Fulham, they pull off 4 world-class goals to beat Fulham. That's just basically it. Fulham belonged to be there. They showed me more in that match than the other matches we're going to be talking about moving forward. I knew after the Liverpool match that Fulham were going to be heading in the right direction and that the wins were going to come. And I actually predicted after that match that Fulham would be on 21 points the following Sunday. I turned out to be right. They had Forest coming up and then West Ham. Now, the Forest match was interesting because you really got to see the dominance of how far Fulham have come since the beginning of the season. I'm going to tell you that Forest are bad. I actually watched Everton play Forest, and I knew that they were a bad team. I really did. So that really gave me confidence. But Fulham were just dominant in that match, scored 5 goals. It could have been worse. So that was one thing, because you're thinking Nottingham Forest are near the bottom, and that's where they should be, to be honest with you. West Ham's a different story. So to beat West Ham 5-0, to follow that up, just showed me, just really put more emphasis on where Fulham are going. It's really about playing together as a team, the passing, and basically spreading the goals around. So it's a combination of a lot of things. I think Tom Kearney coming back into the starting 11 has really just basically just gotten everything going forward. For me, he's been the key, the catalyst to everything. I can't believe I'm saying that. Tom Kearney is now in his early 30s, but he has really been just the facilitator from central midfield. And now you have Raul Jimenez scoring goals. You have Iwobi scoring goals. More because it was against a West Ham side. Just like Forest, they could have won by more. They absolutely could have won by more. They were cruising at the end of that. That wasn't a fluke, my guys here. It wasn't a fluke. They deserved to win 5-0. So then you come into the match against Newcastle United. And if you watch the early stages of this, we're talking first 15 minutes, about as even as you could be. Fulham looked very dangerous whenever they had the ball, and I had a good feeling at that stage of the match. However, you have the situation with Raul Jimenez. He has an altercation with Lascelles, basically elbows him. And basically, I believe shortly after that, maybe a minute and a half after that, I think he took it out on the player for Newcastle United. And I don't think that he intended to do what he did. I think he was kind of in the mindset of being in two different places. I think he tried to stop himself, but it's a red card. And the match changes from that point on. The minute he gets the red card, you're talking 70 plus minutes against Newcastle United at St. James's Park. It was just a matter of time. But they held on in the first half to keep it 0-0. And then things happen in the second half and they lose 3-0. But it also showed me character that this Fulham side could hang even down a man for that end of that first half. But beyond that, the match was going to change. And it's the second time in 2 years that Fulham have been down a man with Newcastle United. And it drives me nuts because I'm not a fan of theirs at all. I'm just not.
So you're happy with your form. You got to be happy with even the loss against Liverpool. You must be happy with how you're doing.
Very happy. I just think that if you go based on the beginning of the season, everything that happened over the summer, guys, with the Mitrovic situation, Paulinho potentially going to Bayern Munich, and them not spending as much as we thought they would spend to get to where they are right now is basically a testament to Marco Silva and all the players finally coming together for Marco to finally find a team that can play together. It just took a while to get over Mitrovic leaving. That's the way I look at it.
No, that's fine. No.
You're not saying you're not. Do you know when we played you at the start of the season? And I feel that we could have won that. I don't know how you feel. I actually feel we had probably 6 or 7 chances, and we didn't take them. And you had 2 chances later on, and you took your chances and you beat us. And that's what we was like at the start of the season. We started off well. We didn't take our chances because we didn't have the confidence, and then later on we got punished for it. And what would you talk? Because we have to talk about the last game we played. Do you feel that made you feel like you're better than us? Does it give you confidence, or do you feel like that wasn't you then, and that wasn't Everton then, and this is a completely different game?
I think this is a completely different game. 2 teams that are light years from where they were at the beginning of the season. I know it's easy to throw it out, but if you're asking me, I would throw it out for both teams. I mean, I'm happy that we won, but I don't think that is the team that you guys are going to be seeing tomorrow night. And I don't think Fulham are seeing the same team that they played at the beginning of the season either. What's great about this match, it means a lot to the supporters of both clubs. It also means a lot to the players and obviously Deitch and Silva. This is a huge match, but it's also 2 teams on the rise. Now, I don't understand. I don't know enough about the financial situation why you got this 10-point deduction. It actually irritates me because I look at teams like Chelsea and Manchester City and say, how about them? But it is what it is, and you guys should fight this. Everton should fight this because you are doing everything that you can despite that. And you should not be anywhere near the relegation battle. Like you said, you would be 9th right now. That is a testament to Everton Football Club, Sean Dyche, the players, everyone associated has ran with it, and you should be proud of that.
What did Russ? What did you think? When the draw comes out, when we got Villa away, for example, we were like, crap, we got Villa away, and then Burnley at home we were quite happy about. I think when the draw came out for us, I think we were thinking, well, thank God it's not, Liverpool or whoever. What were your thoughts when the draw was made?
My thought was probably similar to you guys, that it was a winnable match. And that's not a disrespect to Everton. We just thought that it was a winnable match. More so than going to, say, Anfield or going someplace else. It was a winnable match and a good opportunity for us. But I think we're in the same boat here, guys. We both have a very good chance to win this match to get to a semifinal, which would be great for either club.
Massive. Definitely.
I did see a video of one of your fans saying they was happy they'd drawn Everton, and some of our fans didn't like it. But at the end of the day, you beat us last time. We fancy you, you fancy us. So we can't expect you not to fancy this game as well, because there are some teams that you probably wouldn't want instead of us. Like the teams in there, there's Liverpool. I don't know whether you probably would have wanted to have dodged them. Chelsea.
No.
This is going to be a good. I'd say we're equal. I would say we're equal. And I can see. I don't begrudge you for saying you fancy taking us on and smashing us up here, and I feel the same with your team as well. So it's good. This has the potential to be a proper battle. It's two teams, like I've just put on the screen a minute ago, in mighty form. Like you're in the best. Fulham are in the best form they've ever been in years. I can't believe you just smashed West Ham 5-0, who don't concede many. We've just seen them
2-5 wins, 2-0, 5-0 wins on the bounce. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Incredible form. And we've just won 4 in a row as well. One question I wanted to ask, why I had the form, I had it in my head, but I forgot to say, Russ. Do you know, when I looked at the thing, I won't put it back on because I've moved it off now, but it looked like your form's better at home. Do you feel that?
Our form is better at home. This is true. And basically, under Marco Silva, the adage is to make Craven Cottage a fortress, and I think they've done that. I wouldn't say that Fulham are poor away from Craven Cottage. I would just say that they are struggling to win away from Craven Cottage. It's not that they're playing terrible, but their away form isn't where you want it to be where they want to be, which is in a European place. The only thing I will say, guys, about the away form is think about who we've played away. We've played Man City, Liverpool. We played some of the bigger clubs already away. Arsenal and Tottenham, all away. Aston Villa, all away. So that has something to do with the poor form away, because where Fulham's direction is right now, where they are in their development under Marco Silva, is they are able to beat the teams around them. They are not able at this point to beat the teams that are better than them. The top 6, the top 8, they're just not there yet. I don't think they have the quality to be able to compete against those teams yet. That's why I was disappointed by what they did over the summer. I thought it was a missed opportunity to kick on from being 10th last season. They haven't done that. We've been told, again, reportedly, they might go for it in January. So we shall see. But talent-wise, they're just not there yet. But it doesn't mean that they're not able to beat anyone. I think they can beat anyone at this point, including Liverpool. The frustrating part about that Liverpool match is that they were not that far away from pulling off an incredible upset at Anfield. And if it wasn't for 4 incredible goals, they would have done that. And that's the part that frustrates me. But it also shows the growth of how far they've come.
You should have beat Liverpool. You did all the hard work.
I know.
It was like them, you, and then you still come back and showed the determination to get on top again, and then let it slip. And I was like, because Liverpool have been lucky, in my opinion. I don't talk about them too much. I can't stand them. But I watched them against Luton. They was lucky not to lose that game against Luton at the very end. Then against you as well, there was lucky. They keep winning games, and the result doesn't show how the game went. And they have been very, very lucky.
Well, I think they can be had, guys. I really think that Liverpool can be had. That's just my opinion after watching them.
I'm not scared. I'm looking at them in the cup, and I'm not scared of them. That's why I say this cup is so good, because Man City ain't in it, Arsenal ain't in it, Chelsea we've just beat, Newcastle are in it. Newcastle we've just beat, Liverpool got red carded in our game, and I didn't feel there was that good. And when you played them, you showed that they were not clicking yet. That team is not the old Liverpool team. It doesn't gel together. So this cup is gettable. This cup is very gettable. Now, I'm going to put on the screen your team. You can tell us about them. And then we want you to predict what you think the lineup will be. What a better person than a Fulham fan to give us an insight of Fulham. And then in our comments, we'll all have a lineup guess for Everton. And then we'll do a score prediction. So let's get the last team that you played, if I can get this right, and a few subs on the screen. Here we go. There you go. Sorry to put that red card up, but it has to show, doesn't it?
It has to. Okay, so it's going to be interesting because the last match in the Cup, Marco basically made a ton of changes. So the question is, will he play his strongest starting 11. I think he will. So I'm going to base it on just my gut feeling that he's going to play his best starting 11. So I'm going to say it'll be Bernd Leno, who's been excellent. He is an elite player for Fulham. I'm going to say it's going to be Anthony Robinson on the left. Here's going to be one change. Against a team like yours, who crosses the ball so well and is dangerous like that, I think he'll bring back Kenny Tete. Castagna has been in there. You can go either way on that, but Tete's the better player. In the middle,
he's good against us as well.
He is.
Tete, he's good against us. He come on as sub and we struggle to get with him. He's a random player. We struggle with Tete. It's interesting you say that. Go on.
Yeah, so I think Tete will be your right back. Your center back pairing, I believe Calvin Bassey would be back. This is a last-minute situation where he had an illness. Diop and Adebayo played, but I believe Bassey will be ready to go. I hope so, and it'll be Bassey and Adebayo. This is where it gets interesting. In the middle, I think it'll be Paulinho, Kearney, Pereira. I'm actually going to go Iwobi, Willian, and up front, I'm going to say he'll go with Rodrigo Muniz. That's what I think he's going to go with. That's what I would go with. Rodrigo Muniz couldn't score goals for Middlesbrough last season, but he's actually played fairly well for Fulham this season. Jimenez is, no question about it, is a loss. But the thing about the way Fulham are playing is that it really is about playing together as a team. So it's a loss, but I don't think it's as big of a loss as some might think. I think you could plug in Rodrigo Muniz and he'll do his job against Everton. I truly believe that. The player that I think you guys should most be worried about is an ex-player of yours, Alex Iwobi. He's been fantastic for Fulham.
What's Muniz like as a striker then? Is he similar to Jimenez or is he slightly different?
No, he would be closer to Mitrovic, meaning he's a hold-up striker. So he's good in the air. He's not really great, I think, at his feet is the situation.
So it'd like a tussle then against Tarkowski or Branthwaite.
We'll see. You know, I'm a big fan of James Tarkowski. I actually wanted him at Fulham. I'm a big fan. So, like I said, this is going to be just a battle against two different styles. But what's interesting about this, I think it's going to be two teams that will be crossing the ball in the box a lot. So we'll see.
Who would you pick out? Oh, sorry, Dan. I was just going to say, who would you pick out from your side that would be your weakness? Because we've often spoke about Ashley Young on here, and that he's been a bit of a magnet for calamity. So, is there anyone in your side that you not happy about? Or?
I'll give you two players that if they're not playing their best can affect this game, and that's one is Anthony Robinson. I've had this back and forth with Anthony Robinson, a U.S. international. I'm here in America. And when he's on, and he's been playing phenomenal lately, he can be an elite left back. Unfortunately, sometimes he is not the best defensive left back, and you could take advantage of him. And against a team like yours, you could take advantage of Jedi. His nickname is Jedi when he goes forward. So for me, he can be a liability. The other player who does go missing a lot is Andres Pereira. So if Pereira is not influencing the game, he will be more of a passenger. So those would be the two places of potential weakness on Fulham right now.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised, and I'm not no Fulham expert. I think Wilson's been playing cracking for you.
Wilson has.
I have watched. Yeah, he just scores all the time, doesn't he? And he has a lot of shots on target. And he has been finishing his inform. I'm surprised you left him out. You've picked William over. Well, William's a good player as well, isn't he? You picked William over Wilson. I suppose you have got some good attacking options there, haven't you, with William and Wilson? We struggled with Wilson last time, so I'm quite happy that you've left him out. I feel like we could handle William better, maybe. Robinson being your weakness, obviously Harrison down that side. Harrison is a good player to get at.
Very
if
good
you're
player.
Saying you feel he can struggle sometimes. It's going to be interesting on our formation. And we've got McNeil on the other side as well. This is a game. I'm looking at this now, and I'm already seeing one-on-ones all over the pitch.
That's what you guys are going to see.
Iwobi's going to want to prove himself. Of course he is. He's got nothing to prove, but against his ex-club, he is going to want to play well. We see it all the time when we play our ex-players play against us. So he's someone we're going to have to keep tabs on as well. We've got to show him, treat him with a lot of respect, and make sure we take him out of the game. But yeah, you've said well there, and your team, it's quite strong. It is quite strong. You've, like saying, gone for William. We'll get the Everton team on now. So that could be the team that plays as if Russ is right. Let's get the Everton team on, and we'll have our lineup predictions on ours. I'm getting ready for this now. I tell you, this is going to be a cracker. It is going to be a cracking game. You have got something. I
think it's the biggest. It's the biggest game for both sides. I think. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I mean, a nice draw is obviously what we're all hoping for. If we win, it's either Port Vale or Middlesbrough. we wouldn't mind that in the semi-final, just to be able to get to Wembley. So it is a massive opportunity. It really is.
Russ, you picked some big centre backs, didn't you? So you obviously know that we have got some big units.
Absolutely.
I mean, it showed last game. We're not completely 100. I've been looking everywhere to try and find out a press conference, and there isn't one because it's short space of time. I don't think there is one. So we've got to kind of guess. This was the team that we played last time. This was a makeshift team because Braithwaite did pick up a red card. And you mentioned Tarkowski, which is fantastic. You're right, but Braithwaite's been our centre back of the season for me. He's absolutely incredible. Like all the big clubs are after him already. He's young, but he's years above himself, and with his head and his experience. And Braithwaite and Tarkowski for us, finally, we've got two centre backs that are amazing. They click, and that's been a big part of our 4 wins and 4 clean sheets. That's the thing. We've managed to achieve 4 clean sheets. So not only are we winning games, we are defending really well as well. So Braithwaite, you'd think, would come in, wouldn't you, Paul, on this? Surely. We're not going to play with the wing backs like we did here.
Yeah, it's a different game for me. It really is. Onus is on us. But I mean, if it's a draw, tell me if I'm wrong, but if it's a draw after 90 minutes, it's going to penalties. Is what I thought it would be up till the semi-finals. I don't know if that's right or not. Someone in the comments can tell us if
the Blues will say straight away. I presume it's gonna.
You got to go for the win. I just think it's a different game. Fulham hold the ball better than Burnley did. I think that the 2 deeper midfielders followed by the 3 in front, they've got a good kind of network there and good at passing and keeping the ball. I remember when they played us last time. Actually, it might have been the game last season where they battered us. They just played it around us. I think we're a different side from then. I think we're stronger. I think we work the 3 in the middle a lot better. So it's going to be a bit more physical for Fulham to handle than in previous games. I think it's just about us keeping them quiet in our half of the pitch and trying to test their back 4.
No, I agree. What do you think when you look at our team? Because Onana's been we've got so many players that are have just come into form. Russ, like James Garner from Man United, he's a fantastic young talent. Onana, he's like a Vieira centre midfielder. He is. The way he's going. Our wingers are good. You might see Mikalenko come back. He's been a revelation left back. He's been a cracking left back for us. He's injured, but he might come back for this game. And Patterson right back. So we'll do our lineups in a second, but I don't think you'll see this team, Russ. Like, I think it's going to be a bit different to what we played here. I honestly do believe Sean Dyche has had in mind that we've got you coming up and he wants to play his best team against you.
And I believe that to be true. If you're asking me players that I'm concerned about, I'm looking at it right now and I look at Dwight McNeil. I always fear going up against Dwight McNeil. I do like Jack Harrison, but in a different way. I think that he could be dangerous, but Dwight McNeil can be more deadly against a team like Fulham. That's a player that I fear in this match. Obviously, you can go to Calvert-Lewin. Doucouré, I know, is a doubt, but I know he's a very good player. Listen, you have some very good players that Fulham are going to be wary of. And what's interesting about this is that I'm just thinking to myself, and I don't know if it's going to play out this way, but this could be almost, and not that Everton really play this way, but the fact that there could be a lot of back and forth here. This could be like a basketball game at times, going back and forth and trying to get balls into the box. And I just think for the neutral, this is going to be a very interesting match. Might not be as fun for you guys and myself who are going to be sweating bullets watching this. That's a bad term, but that's a term we use over here. If you know what I mean by that, just being very nervous. But I just think this could be a very entertaining game, and it's going to be difficult to really see how this is going to play out because I think it's a very even game.
Yeah, one of us tomorrow after this game is going to be through in the cup, and one of us is going to be crying and out the cup. So it's going to be me or you. It's going to be us or you.
Yeah.
This is a big game, like you say. It's going to be a disappointment for someone.
Sure.
And I hope it's for you, and I'm sure you hope it's for me as well. You talked about Decore. Decore he's been fantastic. Sean Dyche has turned him back into that player he was from Watford. So he could be a threat. I'm hoping Decore's back as well. I think we took him off on precaution early before something bad happened. I think we could see Decore come back in that. If we haven't got Decore, I feel like that would be a miss for us. We have got Dele Alli on the grass as well. That could be an interesting one if he's on the bench for a cup game. That's a big game. You might because Dele Alli, if he plays, I think it's 5 or 6 games, it triggers us paying 10 million. So we're being wary in those 6 games. So Dyche could just use him in this cup. You never know, do you? You might just use him in this because this cup's massive and means a lot to us, especially if Decore is injured. Paul, did you want to say anything else on our team before we do the lineup prediction and get the comment lineup predictions up on the screen?
Yeah, EFL Cup's usually, people do tend to change their side a little bit, even the odd change. But I just think this game has got such a potential prize at the end of it. You're a couple of games away from Wembley, and 3 decent results of being in Europe. It's worth playing your biggest side. You could rest a few people and still lose at the weekend. Both teams should be trying their hardest to get this. So I wouldn't see too many changes if people are fit enough to do it.
No, I agree. It's interesting what you said. You said it's going to be an end-to-end.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they're agreeing with you as well. I'm expecting there's a comment there from one of our regulars, the Blues. What do you think on that one?
Well, what's interesting about Calvin Bassey, I'm glad that he brought this up because Calvin Bassey was played out of position because of injuries to Fulham center back. So at one point, he's a left-footed center back, and he was playing on the other side of Tim Ream, and Tim Ream is now out injured. So when Tosin came back, Tosin would be on the right, and then naturally Bassey would go back on the left. But when he was on the right, if he's on the right, then you should definitely take advantage of him because he's got a mistake or two on him when he plays the ball off in the back if he's on the right. If he's on the left, look out because that would be an advantage for him because he is a big man going forward and he's very aggressive defensively. So for me, he is the future star center back for Fulham Football Club. He's going to be a great player as long as he's on the left side. If he's on the right side, he'll be a liability.
See, this is why we love getting the opposition fan on because you just get the best insight you could get before the game. And I'm loving this. You're giving us some good stuff here. And the Jebbo, this is what's coming now. This is what's at stake. Look at our fans beat Fulham tomorrow, and we get Port Vale or Middlesbrough, and win the semis. We're dreaming. We are dreaming, and I'm sure you're doing the same. I know. Although we've been doing well in the Premier League, and I've been loving it. I've always had this cup in my mind. It couldn't come quick enough, and it's here now. So tomorrow's going to be the biggest night. It's a chance this is to win a trophy. It really is because the teams in it just ain't that good at the minute. Chelsea haven't got it together. Newcastle have got a lot of injuries, so it's the perfect time for them. Liverpool, I don't feel the clicking. Middlesbrough and Port Vale are in it. This is a big chance to win the cup. This is. So we'll do lineup predictions, and me and Paul will drop ours, and we'll read the ones in the comments, and then we'll finish with your score prediction and our score prediction.
Okay.
Should finish around about the hour spot. So, Paul, you go first. What's your lineup prediction? What do you want this game?
Yeah. I'd like, Pickford in goals a shoe-in, as always. I don't know about Mikalenko. I'd like him back. It'd be interesting to see Godfrey against the Wobie, especially the first 5 minutes. could be a strong tackle coming in on the sideline. So if Miko's not fit, Godfrey comes in easily for me. Branthwaite's got to come back in. I know Keane did well. Well, I'm chuffed for him. Did brilliant. I'd still bring in Branthwaite and Tarkowski for this one. Patterson on the right-hand side. It's a no-brainer for me, really. Onana and James Garner in the middle, pulling the strings. Decore in front of them. Like you say, Russ, Dwight McNeil, he carries the ball 30, 40 yards, and it's massive that. It just takes the pressure off. It absolutely takes the pressure off. Harrison doesn't tend to do that on the other side, but I still play Harrison. He keeps the ball well. His defending's improved as well over the last few weeks. And then DCL up front. If he's fit, play him. I just don't see any reason why he wouldn't really, because that's the importance of this side at the moment. So yeah, that's what I'd go for. What about you, mate?
I'll drop my team now. So my team is Pickford in goals, cracking goalkeeper. What do you think of Pickford, by the way, Russ? Because a lot of people hate him, but we love him.
No, I actually think he's a very good goalkeeper. I've seen him play against Fulham several times. I rate Jordan Pickford, so I don't get that. I will tell you guys a little side story. I can say this because this is true. I am actually friends with Asmir Begovic. So Asmir Begovic is a Patriots fan and has been on my other podcast about the New England Patriots several times. I learned about Asmir's love for the Patriots when he was at Stoke City, and we started to become friends, and he actually came on my show. He's a great guy, and he had nothing but great things to say about Everton.
We liked him when he was with us, didn't we?
Yeah,
and I liked him when he first started. I think his wife was involved on Twitter a lot as well. So they were getting in the mood with the fans, so good on him.
Yeah, he's really a great guy.
He didn't play much for us in the end because obviously Pickford's got the spot.
Right.
But we seen him after the game when we stayed up against Bournemouth after the game, and he was the one person that stopped for signatures before he left and stuff like that. And he's and in the interviews as well, he was cracking to have in the camp. To be fair, we've got Lonergan, but he is a cracking guy, good friend to have. Like you say, we definitely haven't got no issues.
Living it up in QPR at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay.
Right, so I've got Pickford in goals, cracking stories. They're all coming out. Best rates, good friends with Begovic, can't beat it. Mikalenko, I think he's going to be back for this. I don't know if I'm just praying, but I do think Mikalenko will be back. I hope he is. I really do. Godfrey left back. He used to play there back in the day. Is Ashley Young not available for this, Paul? Then is he a complete no-no?
Well, let's hope not. But I'd still have Patterson anyway, to be honest.
No, I mean for left back. Young can play left back, can't he? Young can still play left back.
He could play either.
Maybe he's that good. He could play both. He
could play both at the same time.
I'm going to go strong here. He is that good. Yeah, I'm going to go Mikalenko left back. I'm going to go Branthwaite. He's amazing. Tarkowski, that makes us solid. That's our best two centre backs, so that makes us strong for this cup game. Although we did play Keane and Godfrey there, I don't think we're going to see them if we have our best available. So Mikalenko, Tarkowski, Branthwaite. Patterson doesn't normally get ahead of people. He's been dropped quite a lot, but this is his chance now with Coleman and Young injured. So Patterson should get that position. I don't want to see us play this. If we play free with wing backs, Russ, I think we could be in trouble. Because although we won the last game, I feel we're a bit vulnerable in that formation. Because I actually do believe that it was more Burnley poor than us good last game. I think we deserved to win and stuff like that. But I think if it was against better opposition, we could have paid in that formation. So I'm hoping it's the back four. I'm going to have McNeil on the left, like we've all said, cracking player. Harrison is a player that hasn't completely peaked yet, but he's probably might do this cup game. This could be the best Harrison. Garner and Onana in the middle. Decore, I hope he's fit. If he's not, the option probably will be Dobbin on the right and Harrison in the number 10. We find it interesting, Russ, that we've been seeing Dobbin come on instead of Danjuma. Maybe you don't trust Danjuma to track back and stuff like that. That's an interesting one with Danjuma's experience. He's been dropped quite a bit. We're not quite sure why. We don't know the ins on that. And then Calvert-Lewin up top. But I don't care if Beto starts up top because we've actually got two amazing strikers now for once. We don't need to just rely on Calvert-Lewin. If Calvert-Lewin isn't fit or he wants a rest, Beto will come in. And he's a different type of striker and you'll have your hands probably even more full. So that would be my team. What do you... go on.
I just wanted to just chime in because I saw a comment about if you play wing backs, Iwobi and Wilson will destroy your wing backs. And I actually agree with that. I wouldn't do that. I agree with what you're saying. It's funny because Fulham have struggled over the years under Marco Silva to play against teams that play, say, 3 at the back with wing backs. I think, have finally figured it out and turned it into an advantage. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't play that. But, we shall see because what's interesting about Iwobi, guys, is that I know with you guys, he could play the number 10 role with us. He could play the number 10 role. He could play central. But he has been most dangerous for us on the right, playing wide and getting as wide as possible. And they get the ball to him, and then he does all kinds of damage wide, getting his teammates involved, not just himself. He just basically just attracts everything to him, and then he sets everything up for his teammates. So for me, Iwobi is nonstop action from the minute the match begins to the minute it ends. Now, I know he didn't have the best start to his career at Everton, but I'm telling you right now, besides Paulinho and probably Bern Leno and Ned, he's been Fulham's most valuable player.
You love it. I've been speaking to Russ, and we spoke a bit before he come on. He loves Iwobi. He does love Iwobi, and he was like, "Why did you let Iwobi go?" And I was like, It's interesting that you say Iwobi's better on the right, though, because we know towards the end that was his best position, but he wasn't happy there, and he kept wanting to play in the number 10, and that frustrated us a little bit because we just thought you play where you're told,
right?
And we did find that his best position was on the right, where when he works hard and he grafts, and the good thing is when Iwobi used to play on the right, because then he can kind of play on the right and cut into the 10 position.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And he can be effective where he can do that. So we've got to be aware of that. But we knew what was the best in, but he seemed to be, sometimes for us, be too cocky and think he knew the best in and wasn't happy to just do what he was told. But you love him, and he's going to be a threat, and we don't like playing against ex-players. Go on, Paul, what was you going to say there?
I don't think anyone would discount his work rate as well. When he was playing for Frank, he was working hard and running everywhere, to be honest. Sometimes like a bit of a headless chicken, but he put a shift in, so we'll give him that. I don't think there's any ill feeling towards him from Evertonians, to be fair. Well, he did try for us. I've got a few...
Paul, I did say to him, I'll be honest with you, I did say, the only thing that frustrated me with Iwobi, I'll be honest, I'm not going to... I said, it frustrated me personally that he spent... When the first 2 seasons he was at us, he was nowhere near what he was later on, and I feel that he couldn't be arsed, and he wasn't. For me, I'm saying, why could you be this good now, in these 2 relegation battles, and when you first come to us, not put that shift in that you put in now? Because you don't just get that all of a sudden.
No.
He obviously had that in the tank. So for me, his attitude, just I don't know, something frustrated me about Iwobi. So I was a little bit. But right. I can't fault, like you say, with what he did at the end. He played a big part of us staying up because he did put a shift in. And if you get that away, you'll be all right and you'll be happy.
Right. And to be honest with you, I think the key for Fulham, and I'm sorry it didn't work out. I'm happy it didn't work out with Everton, with Marco Silva eventually moved on from him, because what's interesting about Fulham, and it happened 2 seasons ago, last season, and this season again, the players get better playing under Silva. He really emphasizes their strengths, hides their weaknesses, and really just plays to that. And with Iwobi's a perfect example. He plays to Iwobi's strengths. He uses Iwobi in several different ways. Like I said, it's not just on the right. He's played him on the left. He's played him central. He even played him as a striker against Newcastle United when we went down to man. He'll play him anywhere. I love players that are that versatile. But for me, the key to Iwobi being who he is with Fulham, it still comes down to Silva. And we have so many players that improved underneath him, including someone like Willian, who was down in the dumps after coming off the Arsenal situation, goes to Brazil, comes back to Fulham, and it becomes the player that he was at Chelsea. So there's something to it. There's something to the coaching that he's getting, and that these players want to play for Silva. They play for Silva. And that's what makes this game fascinating. There's so many like storylines in this match, a lot on the line, a lot of similarities, and we're just going to have to see how it all plays out.
We both love our players. We both love our managers. This is good. Do you know what I mean? You're happy with Silva talking. We're talking about Dyche, baby, loving him.
Shall I throw?
Go on. I was just going to say, chuck the lineups
throw
in the
a few
comments
lineups
then we'll
on.
do score predictions.
Rob's
leave
on.
the lineups in the comments. Drop them on. Get your lineups up and tell us what your lineup would be, and then we'll do a score prediction.
Yeah. Okay. So Rob's Pickford, Miko on the left, Patterson on the right, Branthwaite and Tarks in the middle, along with McNeil on the left, Harrison on the right, James Garner and Nana in the middle, Decore just behind DCL. Eugene's on. He's reckon that's Branthwaite will be back, which would be a big plus. Paul Cass is saying Coleman if Patterson's injured. That's the thing as well. Blues mentioned it. It's difficult because we've not had a press conference. We don't know the exact up-to-date things. It's saying one or two people are questionable, but we knew of anyway. So Coleman's questionable, Young's questionable, but there's nothing saying that anyone is particularly out.
Paul, can I jump on that one? Just 2 seconds. It just reminded me, I just want to mention it as well. We should have hit it on the start, to be fair, but there was that much stuff going on. Coleman cracking speech for Bill Kenwright today. Bill Kenwright had his memorial today, and a lot of Everton players went, and Coleman, as always, he's our club legend, and cracking speech. Seen the videos and stuff of what Coleman said and stuff, and he always, at the right time, steps up. Coleman does. So I just want to give Coleman a shout out for giving a cracking speech for Bill Kenwright's memorial and stuff. So that all the players as well that turned up, we did that really good today. I'm proud of Everton when we do things like that. So that's just a shout out on that. Next lineup.
Loads of ex-Everton players as well. You know, Cahill was there, Lescott was there, and Ichabi was there, as well as the old legends as well. So that was good. Tarky and Branthwaite and Miko, Harrison, McNeil. A lot of it picks itself, really. I think we've now found what our best side is, which is something that not all sides get to realise early on in the season, but we have. Eugene reckons that Beto is going to play. Maybe DCL is going to have a rest. We've got lots of games. Everyone's got lots of games. What is it, about 5 games inside 2 weeks or something ridiculous? So teams will have to do changes. You know, it's just inevitable that's going to happen, to be fair. Where are we? Blues reckons that Dukes, he hopes he's ready, but if he's got hamstring problem, then it's difficult to see him being ready. And that's it on the lineups.
So thank you for all your lineups. Thanks for putting them on the screen. We're all similar, like you say. We just say the same 11 all the time. If it's available and fill in the players that you know we're going to fill in. It used to be back in the day that none of us knew what teams to put on the screen, and we didn't even like what we put on the screen. We was putting players in that we wasn't even comfortable with. It was just, I suppose it's going to be him, and I'll put him in, and I'll have to put him in, won't I? But now I'm in love with Everton again. I'm actually falling in love with my club again now because these players want to play for the badge. That's the most important thing. Dyche for us, and like Silva for you, was they play for the badge now. The passion's there. Yeah. And sometimes, even if you're not having the best game, put a shift in to make up for it. That's what I say. If you're not having the best game and you're not on it and your shooting's not there, or you're passing, you're making bad passes, run your socks off to make up for it. And at least we can see you're fighting for us and trying your best, and we can forgive you then. But when they're not having a good game, and then they still don't put a shift in when they're not having a good game, that's when you fume with players, and that's when you get frustrated with players. For me, this is the big one, then, Russ. This is the end of the show.
Okay.
This is the biggie. You know what's coming now, don't you? The score prediction. Don't take it easy on us. Be honest.
Okay. Okay.
So go on.
Okay. I'll go first. Okay. So with all respect to you guys, this can go in many different directions. I don't see this as a 0-0 going into the final minutes. I see goals, and I see all the comments. So normally I wouldn't go for this score prediction because it's high, but I think it's going to be 5 goals. I'm going 3-2 to Fulham, which is a weird score to predict. But I'm saying
not on this channel, Russ. Not on this channel.
We go 5-0. We do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to say this is going to be extremely close. In fact, I'll go out on a limb and say that Everton jump ahead, Fulham get one back. I think it goes back and forth, back and forth. I can see a similar situation for Fulham like the Liverpool game, that it keeps going back and forth. So I am saying 3-2, and we'll see how it all plays out. But if Fulham don't win this game, and I'm going to say this, guys, I'm not saying it because I'm on this show. I would want you guys to win the cup. I absolutely do. I have a lot of respect for Everton. I told you off air that I can't stand Liverpool. Can't stand Liverpool. I have a lot of Liverpool supporters that are friends because of this Red Sox connection to Boston. And I got to tell you, they are obnoxious like Tottenham fans. There are certain supporters I don't like. Liverpool are 1, Tottenham are 2, so they can go screw. So for me, 3-2 to Fulham.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I did just on what you said, though, I did like Keno putting Liverpool a bit right to say, like, who are you, Van Dijk, to act like this when you've only won 1 trophy in like 30-something years? Because Van Dijk was speaking like they're the best team in the world. And he was having a right little cry just because Man U sat back and didn't let them win. Right, but we won't talk about them. Our score predictions. So Russ thinks that they're going to beat us 3-2. What we do, though, Russ, this is a tricky part now.
Okay.
And you're going to regret saying 3-2 because we do ask for the goal scorers.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll give it to you.
How close you can get.
No, I'm going to make it easy for you guys. I'm going for a hat trick from Alex Iwobi.
And I liked you before. I was liking you. Now I don't.
That's our nightmare. That's our nightmare. That I reckon.
Do you know what though? He's just put King playing against us. We had King at Everton, and we sent him back, and he scored a hat trick against us. Joshua King. We literally had him. Yeah, Josh King, and we sent him back, and he scored. Don't put that in my head. I won't sleep tonight now. Now you just said a Iwobi hat trick. Evil. Who scores for us then? I don't want to know now because you just said Iwobi scored a hat trick.
Well, I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to say a brace from Dwight McNeil.
There you go, Dwight McNeil. Right, he's knocked me. He's knocked me a little bit on that Iwobi hat trick. There you go, Paul. Go on, you do yours.
It shook you.
Nightmares tonight. Go on, Paul.
I know what you mean about a free scoring game. Absolutely could see it happening, but I think we're a little bit too. I think we're strong enough really to do what we want with the game. We won't. You'll have the possession. You'll have the ball most of the time. I think we'll still create some decent chances. I actually see it being a 1 or 2-0. To be honest with you, I think Jimenez is a loss.
Yeah.
I think the lads playing for us know Iwobi, know where he likes to go. Very, very rarely saw him going on the outside of a fullback. He comes across and he comes inside to the likes of Onana, James Garner, Branthwaite, for example. So I'd like to think that we can distinguish Iwobi. And then beyond that, I think centre midfield that you've got is strong. Like centre backs are decent. So I can just be separated by 1 goal, to be fair. So I think we're actually going to win 1-0.
Okay, can I give you your counter to your discussion on Iwobi.
Go on. Classic.
No. If you're going to give me that your players know Iwobi.
Give it back.
No, Iwobi knows your players. Iwobi knows all the weaknesses of the Everton players. That's a huge advantage. So does Marco Silva. So for me, if we want to play the head games, I like Fulham's chances with Iwobi and Marco Silva. But that's just
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair enough.
This is class. This is a proper fan clash. Here we go. Ric Flair's are going on in the house, baby. So apparently we know Iwobi and we're going to completely dominate him. And Russ comes back saying Iwobi knows all of our flaws and he's going to dominate us. This is going to be a proper showdown tomorrow. We're getting ready for it now. I love it.
Yeah. Goal scorer then.
Goal scorer, go for it.
Iwobi on goal.
Love it. Love it.
And Paul has the last punch, and I'm sure Russ will come back.
I'll go someone a little bit obscure. I'll go James Garner. I say him a lot actually. He's not scoring that many, but yeah, I'll go James Garner. 1-0.
If James Garner scores, one of our Everton fans has made a deal with him that he's got to do the lawnmower celebration when he scores.
Yeah.
So, and since they said it to him, you've got to do the lawnmower, he hasn't scored. Even James Garner says, since we've made that deal, I haven't scored. So we will see the lawnmower if your result comes in and James Garner scores. We always do look back on our channel, Russ, to see who got it right. We have a look, say, oh, you got it right. Because a lot said 2-0 for us against Burnley, and they did get it right. And a lot said Keane would score. So it's good to do this as a little bit of fun at the end. Right, my score prediction, mine's normally 5-2 or 5-1. That's not. I'm Everton hardcore. I can see everyone scoring for Everton against Fulham because I love Everton at the minute. But my score actually will be 2-0.
Okay.
And because I don't know why we just keep keeping clean sheets, and I think it's becoming a habit now. And I get it's either going to go two ways, and it's easy to say that. Like you said, Russ, end to end, loads of goals. But I think we're going to see both teams shit themselves because they want to win the cup, and it could be a bit of a 0-0 first half, and every team's like sitting back a little bit. Tarkowski said this is the biggest chance for him to win a trophy in his career.
Okay.
They might both sit on it at first.
Should I give you another counter? We're going to keep doing counters. Can I give you another counter?
Bring it on.
Love it.
Okay. Here's my counter to that. Now, I understand the normal way of thinking when it comes to, well, it's a big match. Teams are going to be very tight. No one's going to want to make a mistake. The fly in the ointment is Marco Silva because Marco Silva doesn't play back. Marco Silva plays in the front foot. So I think that opens itself to goals. That's why I am predicting goals because he's not going to go to Everton to keep it tight and try to win it at the end. He's going to want to beat you 5-0. That's just his mentality. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that his mentality that he's
Russ, the thing is, and I get that you're going to come at us to beat you 5-0, but when you're coming up against the best centre-backs in the world, what you want and what you're going to get is two different things, Russ. You're going to be running into brick wall with our defenders. This is good. Russ is coming.
I'm sorry. Didn't we beat you the opening match of this? Didn't we beat you last season too? I'm sorry. I'm just throwing that up.
After Mopé missed loads of shots, we got rid of him and gave him a kick up the arse and sent him to Brentford, yes. But we ain't got Mopé up front now. We've actually got big strike. This is good. Okay. This is good.
Well, we gave Virgil van Dijk, a lot of work, so we'll see.
You did. Appreciate that.
I did appreciate my score prediction. I'm going to go for 2-0. I'm normally I respect your Fulham team.
That's conservative for you, Dan. That's really conservative for you.
Well, I'm not going to lie. When I looked at Fulham's form, it's not easy to spank West Ham 5-0. They've got to have something about them. It's the results. Looking at their results and form, I've got to respect them. If I wouldn't have looked at that, I would have said, Fulham, we played them at the start of the season and we could have beaten 5 or 6 before they scored their one. But now I've actually looked at your form. I think you picked up a lot and I think you're going to give us a good game. So I think 2-0. And when you say 2-0, that's just like we just win. It's a hard game, but we just win because you get your 1 and you get your 2 sometimes. My goal scorers, I think the goals will come late. I think Calvert-Lewin will score his due a goal. And then I think you'll attack us because you'll go all guns blazing, stay in it, and I think we'll catch you on the counter. So the second don't really matter. It's just a counter attack. But so Calvert-Lewin, and on the second, I'm going to give it to Dwight McNeil. Probably he'll stay on and score the second. So that's my 2-0 This is good, though. I can't wait for it now. One of us is going to be right. And you're proper up for it, Russ. I like that. You're like me. I'm passionate. And like Paul, we're passionate. We all want it. And I'm glad I've got someone on that really does want this. And I don't blame you, because this is a big opportunity to win a cup. So why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? But you've got to get if the comments there. Would you wear an Everton top if we beat you?
No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
The closest you could do is get him to get a Begovic top on, an old Everton Begovic top. That's the closest.
That'd be all right.
Well, if you guys send me one, I would wear a Begovic. That I would do it. And I'll just say it one more time, because I'll just tell you a quick story that you guys will laugh about involving Asmir Begovic. And so Asmir, and it involves Everton. So Asmir messaged me that when Scott Parker went to become manager of Bournemouth, and Asmir was still there, and he meets the team for the first time, and he said for the first 20 minutes, all Scott Parker did was talk about himself, and that's when he knew it was time for him to go. And he then came to Everton, because it's like all this guy did was talk about his accomplishments, everything he did, not about how Bournemouth were going to play. He was all full of himself. And then Asmir found a ticket out and went to Everton.
That's an interesting story, because Begovic has got a bit of age on him anyway. So he's probably thinking to himself, who are you to tell me you're this, that, and the other, and you've done this, and talk about yourself, when Begovic is probably used to play for Chelsea and all that. He's done as much as him anyway. So I can see why he did do that. And if we didn't have England's number one, Begovic, when he did play in a lot of cup games for us, and we wasn't bothered. What a backup keeper he was. He's still got a lot of good football in him. I hope he's doing well. I haven't watched him for where he's doing, but I'm sure he's doing pretty well, because he's a very good goalkeeper and a good guy.
Good professional.
I'll throw a few. Get the score predictions on. Let's do this. Russ, this is what you're getting, by the way. So get scared, because our score predictions, we're going to read.
I've already seen them.
What you're going to get?
I've already seen them.
Some are quite complimentary, to be fair. Tazul thinks that it'll be tough, but we'll have enough. So he said 3-2 for us. You know, Russ had gone the other way, but 3-2 for us from Tazul. Eugene thinks that we're going to do a 3-0. That's the sort of score. I thought you'd even go higher, Dan, to be fair. What was the score? What was the score line against Burnley that you said?
I said 5-1 against Burnley, but it was 2-0 up in the first 25 minutes. And
it was looking
maybe
good.
It would have been 5-1, yeah.
It was looking good, to be fair.
Yeah, we was looking good for a 5-1. Our fans, Russ, we normally go hardcore on scores, because we do fancy ourselves.
I understand, but I hope your supporters understand you're not playing Nottingham Forest tomorrow, right? You know.
No, that's fair enough. That Jamie thinks 3-1 as well. He reckons Tarky will get on the score sheet. DCL, McNeil, and William.
Okay.
Will you be your guy? Paul Cass. He enjoyed himself at the weekend, Paul Cass, didn't he, after we won?
Oh, my days. He had his Christmas top on, and I've never seen such moves. He was absolutely hammered after that win, singing songs that he was making up on the spot. Us Everton fans are happy Gilmore's at the minute. We are all happy. We're not used to winning. We don't know how to handle it. We have too many drinks and can't handle it at the minute. 4 wins in a row. This is crazy.
Cass has gone lots of goals, like you said. DCL, James Garner, McNeil, Harrison, Iwobi and Pereira. Good player, Pereira, to be fair. He's a good player. Hazrat has gone 2-1. McNeil and DCL. I'm presuming Iwobi for the other one. Rob's gone conservative, though. Say conservative. Lots of goals, but actually penalties.
Wow.
So 2-2. Harry Wilson, free kick. Willian.
Don't do that to me.
Anana and McNeil, penalty. Oh, God, you imagine that when I get
we all agree we don't want to go to that. Can we all agree?
If we went penalties, like you could, I know you said win. We're sticking with what we've got, by the way. But if it did go penalties, which it probably won't, because we ain't said that, and we think we're going to be right. But if it did, do you fancy yourselves against us at penalties, or?
Now I do. If you asked me last season, the one benefit from Mitrovic going is he was a crappy taking penalties, just crap. So for me, the fact that he's gone and we actually went to penalties against Tottenham, and scored every one of them. Every one of them. So I actually feel confident because I think they spent a lot of time on penalties because of the Mitrovic situation. All the players scored. They all did the same thing. They all did that like basically slow, basically I'll call it the Ric Flair walk up where they kind of do that step and then they score the goal. They all did that. They all literally did the Ric Flair.
Yeah, I hope we've been practicing.
Really
I really hope we've been practicing. I really do, just in case.
No, yeah, he's scared me on penalties now. He says they're practicing all the time. We ain't got John Joe Kenny to take penalties anymore. So
but we got Pickford. We got Pickford. He can do both.
Oh, Pickford to score the winning penalty would be my God. It'd be my dream. That'd counteract his Iwobi hat-trick. That would. Do you know what I mean? Pickford to score the winner. That'd hurt you with his little wink at the end of it.
Blues has gone 2-1, Branthwaite and Garner. And then he's put a dig in as well. Some Nomar getting his first Fulham goal. Don't know about that. Eugene's gone, said 3-0. He said Decore and Onana. Now Onana's got on the sheet and McNeil. Everyone's quite confident McNeil's going to get a goal, aren't they? And I think, have we got any others? No, we're pretty much there. We are. So okay. I think everyone agrees that there's going to be some goals, and that it's going to be a decent game. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
Okay,
it's going to be a cracking game, and this has been a cracking show, Russ. You've been amazing, mate. Honestly, cracking talk. I said that before you even come on. I was really happy I landed on you, to be fair, and I'm gutted that I'm going to make you lose tomorrow, but because you're such a nice man. And this is going to be a good one. It's a shame we can't do a live watch into it because that would have been interesting, especially if it was penalties. Oh my days, can't be doing that.
No, I would. You know, it's funny, guys. I would never do a watch along. I've actually watched some of these.
Well, we do it sometimes, but
yeah, I will never do a watch along because some of the reactions I've seen when teams score against the person watching it, they like flip out. I love it, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing
that. I'm a very passionate fan. I jump around and everything. We've tried a few because our people, Everton fans on this, have asked for us to do watch-alongs, but we felt like we did it on the pre-season. We actually gave it a go on the pre-season, the watch-alongs and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's just scary.
No,
it's away.
To be honest with you guys, I'll leave you with this. I am the type of supporter, you don't want to watch a match with me because I watch like this and I don't move and I get very vocal. So I'm not one that you want that you don't want to watch a match. I wouldn't recommend a Fulham supporter watching a match with me because I'm not one that you want to watch matches with because I get very intense.
Everyone laughs at me. Everyone laughs at me, Russ, on this channel because I'm Rocky everything. I'm Rocky Balboa, Italian
I'm
stallion.
going like this. I'm like,
I'm the tiger.
Yeah,
we're like, Iwobi's getting crunched. We're going to die for that badge, frigging smash into the goalpost. Oh, we have got to. This cup is the biggest game for me. I want to play. I want to be on the pitch because we have got to win this cup. If we win this, we could get Plymouth or Middlesbrough. Which would you say Middlesbrough in the next round?
Oh,
this is a big game, Russ, and you want it. We want it. Oh, This is rocky stuff, I tell you. It's gonna be a good game. I can't wait for it now. That's why I don't like doing pre-matches the night before because I don't sleep. I'm all hyped for it now. I should have done it on the day. Russ, Paul, I'll let you say your last words, and then I'll let Russ have his, and then I'll end the show.
No worries. I think it adds something extra, doesn't it, when we've got a opposition fan on, and everyone doesn't know everything about every side as well. So it was interesting to find out what your thoughts were about the side. I think it's going to be a decent game. It's going to be a bit of a scrap. I think we might be a little bit more physical than Fulham. I think that could pave the way for a scrappy goal and just about scraping through. But Fulham. I don't mind Fulham, and I like Iwobi. I just won't like him tomorrow for 90 minutes.
Okay, well, guys,
go for it.
Sure. Well, I want to end by saying thank you for having me on. As you can see, I'm lost my voice because I've enjoyed myself so much. But I just want to wish the best to all the Everton supporters. And let's see how it all happens in this match tomorrow. We're recording this on Monday. So best of luck to you, and we'll see what happens.
Cracking. Absolutely cracking. And I can't believe I said 2-0. I should have said 10-0. I'm up for it now. I'm going to take Russ on. We're going to have this. This is a big game tomorrow, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for listening. EFL Cup, Everton at home against Fulham. This is massive, and I can't wait. What a game. And if we win, I'll DM Russ and I'll send him a nice message. If we lose, I probably won't speak to him for 2 months. So that's the way it's going to go. Passionate fans love it. I'm going to drop the banner on now. Thanks, everyone, for staying with us all the way through, interacting as you do. Toffee Bluecast, bringing Everton fans together, but also giving you an insight of the opposition as well. And it's been cracking for Russ to come on, and I feel like he's a top man. And he's given us a good insight of Fulham. And I don't mind Fulham, and he don't mind Everton. So that's a good start as well. We have got some cracking people on just lately as the opposition fans. I'm going to drop the banner on now, everyone. If you haven't, like and subscribe. Look, plenty still on. If you haven't, like and subscribe. And I'm going to drop the banner on now. The music, the blue flares. I'm so ready for this. I'm Ric Flair. Woo! Woo! I'm going to be woo! Let's do this. We are the Goodison gang. We have no manners. Spend all our tanners. I'm ready for this. Russ, he's ready for this as well. Here we go. Up the top is.
Start in your heart to slow